Square cut or pear shape, these rocks won't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I would say long arm is a girl's best friend. Long arms are girls' best friends. Fabric is a girl's best friend. Anything to do in this room is everybody's best friend. I don't know. But welcome back to the channel. This is Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun. And we are in our final installment of the December Diamond Stitch Along, Quilt Along, whatever we want to call it. Whatever. Welcome back. Let's see. Last week, let's recap. What did we do? Last 3 weeks, whatever. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. That's coming up in like a few days. But in our last video recap, what did we do? We stitched the diamonds. We finally got to the stitching. We stitched the ditch. We created our negative space diamonds. We used our homemade templates, our homemade stencils, or you marked your quilts, whatever you did. You stitched in your negative space diamonds. You stitched the ditch. We did a 1/4 inch echo, and we did our whole quilt. So if you are on Facebook or Instagram, Adam So Fun with the SEW, you should follow me. I took some pictures of what mine looked like at the end and how I trimmed my batting. And I rolled all the way back to the top. It's just a personal thing. I always do that. I don't know why, but I rolled all the way back to the top, and I'm going to start from the top and just work my way down again. And I think for this, I'm going to do all of my negative space fill, and then the last step is going to be putting those diamonds in. But we'll do all of that today, because first thing, I think we're going to do all that today. Yeah, because we have to get it done before December, the end of December. So the first part of the video, I'm jumping into simulator because it's just easier for me to work and not have to work around the camera and everything. But I'm going to show you how to set up, for those of you who are not doing free motion, who are doing Pro Stitcher, if you are using one of the designs from Quiltable, one of the block design or the faux free motion designs from the December 2021 club, I'm going to show you how to set those up because they are coming on point and we don't need that. We can't use that. We could, but it's going to be a headache. So I'm going to show you how to turn it, connect it with another one, and make an edge to edge. That's what I'm going to use in my negative space. If you are going to be free motioning it, I'm going to also free motion one. So I'm going to do, I think I have 10 to choose from. I think 8 of them will be designs Pro Stitcher, and then 2 of them will be free motion, and maybe nobody will ever tell the difference. I don't know. Probably you will, but whatever. It will be fun. I like to free motion. And then we'll come back in and we'll set those diamonds. I will give you some other ideas for the diamonds. I'm going to use the Dazzling Diamond set from Quiltable just because I was like on the fence with it, but I'm really going to like those designs compared to what's happening in the background. And again, if you're on Facebook, I showed you the layout that I'm kind of thinking about, and I'm going to stick to that for the most part. But I will show you other ways. Maybe you don't have Pro Stitcher and you're going to free motion up. You get to fill those diamonds up with whatever you want. Like, remember, you don't have to do what I do just because I'm doing it. I'm just giving you ideas. So, without further ado, I don't know. I'm wearing this shirt today. Special for you, for all of you. Be kind to yourself. A lot of you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You're doing free motion or more like custom Pro Stitcher than you've ever done before. Be kind to yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. These are like, this whole December thing is to get you out of your comfort zone. Maybe try something new. Fall in love with a different technique, even if it's not the whole thing. I mean, maybe this was it. Maybe, oh my gosh, I can make my own stencils. I mean, print Google Images, golden threads paper, and you can fold this paper up and stick it in an envelope. Of course, I moved my little baggie that's been here all day. So this is my teacher bag, and when I do my classes, this has been all around the nation for like 2 years, and this is my class stencil, and it gets used, pounced multiple times a week, folded up and shoved back in this bag and tossed into a luggage. So that paper will hold up, but again, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Don't feel totally comfortable. Do something maybe a little bit different. I love seeing, a lot of you have been posting pictures and stuff. If I follow you back, If I don't, sorry, send me a message. I will. But I love like when I'm flipping through Instagram and I see people like, okay, they took that next step. They're going for it. Stacy, I'm talking to you. Yeah. So just keep it going. Like, I just want everyone to love it like I do. Just everybody love it. So yeah. Without further ado, let's go jump into the video. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when new videos drop. All right, so lighting's not going to be the most perfect right now, but we're going to work with what we have. So this first part of the video, we need to set up our designs so they fit into this negative space. We're going to use Pro Stitcher, we're going to use crop, we're going to do some of that stuff, but we have to get our designs to actually connect and fit the way we need them to work here. So we're going to jump over into Simulator, and I'll be right back.
Hello everyone, we are here in Pro Stitcher Studio. We know I'm in Pro Stitcher Studio because I have my green crosshairs. The reason I'm doing this in Pro Stitcher Studio instead of doing it right at the machine is I would have to move the machine a bunch and trying to keep the camera and focus and everything. I figure I'm going to show you on Simulator how I can do this. You can also do this right at your machine. If I wasn't recording, I would just do it at the machine. I wouldn't worry about having to come and sit down. But now I'm sitting down and I can show you all this. So this is going to be the background. And I've already shown you on the quilt where this is going to go. But we need to make basically our passes, but we have to create our design first. So you can use any edge-to-edge design that you want. I wanted to use something from Quiltable because I saw these free motion. This is part of the December 2021 faux free motion. It's the club, the December club. I think it's $20 or $25 if you join the club. You get all of these designs in this file. You don't get these three because these are the three I'm going to make, but you get all of these designs. You do see two of them. I'll take one off. So these are actually all the designs you get. Or I feel like there was more in the actual club. But whatever. Check it out. It's the Quiltable Club. Remember, if you're at Quiltable ASF 10, like Adam's So Fun, ASF 10 will get you 10%, an additional 10% off your purchase. This here is not eligible on that because it is part of the club. So I don't know if you can buy the club, just the one, but it's cheaper to get it if you join the club. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But I saw these three designs when this was posted, and I fell in love with these because these truly to me look like free motion designs. So I'm going to open them all up, and I'll just set them next to each other. I'm not going to do them set all these up. I'm going to show you how to set up one of these because these are a little bit different because these designs are set on point. If you notice there were tan ones, let me show you this just so you know. Different colors. You have like this kind of peach and you have a green. These are different file types, so it just depends on what type of file that you want to open. I believe HQF is the peach color. Green is going to be HQV. QLI comes in at a blue color. So that's what the colors do. They represent what kind of file types they are. I happen to have the HQF and HQV versions of these. But I really loved these because this design, to me, it really looks like a free motion design. It's a little bit of everything. It's not just so like cookie cutter. They mix and match really well too. So these are what I'm going to be using for most of my rows. I'm going to free motion too, so I can show you how I free motion, and then the rest of them are going to get done by these. So I'm going to just close, and these are the three. I will select them all really quick so they're nice and dark for you. But this is just piece one, piece two, piece three. I can't get enough of these. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying that because I can't. Okay, let's slow down, Adam. Slow your roll. I just want to pick up these and I want to close selected because we're just going to work on this first one. And I can see up here it says free motion edge to edge 1. And this is ideally, this design is set to stitch out like this, have my vertical repeats, and you can get a checkerboard. But if you wrap them by half, and this is a totally different video, but and you mix them together and shrink that gap, Gosh, you could get a really cool layout with this. So when you shrink them enough, you can't even see that those are blocks anymore. I can zoom in, and they are blocks. They did stitch on point. This is the, oh, well, this isn't going to work because you're watching it on a TV screen. But I can see, I'm hitting my 1-to-1, so I can see actual size. This is about the size of a finger. Not width, but length. So that's the true size. We could probably shrink it a little bit if we want to. It just depends. You know, this is going to be your quilt, so you get to do whatever you want. Let me just clear this, and we're going to start over. So I'm going to open that edge-to-edge design one. And we need to get this off a point, because if it's on point, it's just going to be a headache for us. So my first step, and your first step, is you're going to go into modify. If you're using these designs, you're going to go into modify, and we're going to rotate 45 degrees to the left, because we want the start point on the bottom. So now we have a square. Perfect. We're used to edge squares. So let's go in. I'm going to hit edit, my edit tab. And so to rotate that, modify, rotate, and then on the sidebar, 45 degrees to the left. And then I'm clicking on my edit tab. And I want to make a copy of this. So I'm just going to hit duplicate. And it opened another one over where my crosshairs are. So let me bring it down here. So now I have a second one. If we look at these, I have my start point on the bottom, my stop point at the top. The next one, start point on the bottom, stop point at the top. We would not be able to edge this because those starts and stops aren't in the same place. So I'm going to come to my modify tab, rotate in the ribbon, and in my sidebar, I'm just going to hit flip. Now we can see up here, I have the end point of the first one and the start point of my second one. They're on the same plane, so we're going to be able to edge this. Perfect. We have to set these two blocks up first before we go in to do the edge though, because we're setting this up as kind of a new unit. And we're going to do a few things to it. So I'm going to simulate and move my crosshairs to, we'll just move them to about right here. And we need these, we want to combine these two designs. So I'm going to click my first one and go to reposition. And I want to reposition so the end point of this first design is on my crosshairs. So I'm going to go to my sidebar and click end point. And now I will come click my next design. And I have selected, so I selected my next design. And I want to put the start point right on top of that end point, so I'm going to hit start point. And this is the easiest way to get a start point of one design and an end point of another design on top of each other, so you can baseline them together and stitch them out. So I could select these both and baseline them, but one thing I don't really like is this gap here. And we can fix that. We don't have to keep that gap. So in the comments or in the details below, I'm going to give you all of these settings that you can come in and change, because I've already done this for you. You do have to be using the newest version, 537 or whatever number it is, the newest version of Pro Stitcher, because what that did is if I come up to my Pro Stitcher tab and I go to my new start end, we have more options here. I can hit these top arrows and it's going to move that the start point just a little bit. I'm going to zoom in so we can see this. Do you see this number is like 0.14, 0.15, 0.16? It's moving tiny bits. We get to pick where we want our starts and stops to go. In the previous version of Pro Stitcher, you did not get that option. You had to go to a design node. And if I go to view, and I'm going to show you this, but I do not leave these on. I always turn them off. So these little black points are design points that the digitizer used to create these designs. And in the previous version of Pro Stitcher, you always had to have a start point at one of these design points. So I can go, if I hit it 4 times, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would come here. But watch when I come over here and I hit the arrow down 4 times, I didn't even get to that first section. I did like half that first length. So you have a lot more capabilities when you're doing this type of Pro Stitchery stuff. So I'm going to, and this is why, if you look at this design, you have see all those black dots. This is why I don't leave these on. So I'm going to view, and I'm going to turn, not my grid on, I'm going to turn my design points off. So like I said, I've already done this for you. First thing, I want to move those rows closer. I want to move the right row. So I'm going to select and make sure the right row is selected. I just deselected it. It turned gray. I want it black, so I clicked on it to select it. I'm going to my modify. I want to be on reposition. And down here we have this nudge function. Set your nudge, like mine, to 0.01. And to do that, you'll click on this. You'll just tap your number, and then you're going to 0.01, enter. And now you've set your nudge. Now, anytime you hit one of these arrows, that's how far it's going to move it. And we want to move to the left 10 nudges. So I guess you can just change it to 0.10, but this is how I did it, and this is how the other ones are set up. So set it to 0.01. I'm going to click 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see that this gap is now smaller. So that's the first step. Second, we need to move our start points and our end points. So I'm going to select on design 1, and I'm going to Pro Stitcher, my Pro Stitcher tab, new start end in the ribbon, and I have my start column and I have my end column. The end column is going to have a number in it already because that's how many, let's say, segments that this design has. And the start point is at the first segment, the 0, not even at a segment. We want to move the start point to 0.06. So I move that one, and we want to move the end point. So I move the start point down. We want to move the end point up because it can't go down anymore. It's as far as it can to 243.63. So basically, we're moving the start point down 6 and the end point up 6. Now, if I zoom into this, do you see how they're not going to be perfect, but I've zoomed in a lot right now. The endpoint is right here. If I select the next one, it didn't you know what? I think I have to baseline it. So I'm going to move this. Oh, I haven't moved the second one. Just kidding. I'm looking at the start point, but I haven't moved the second one yet. If I come and zoom here and I select this design again, you'll see that the start point has moved. Because we have to do the start and the end point on both pieces. So now I'm going to select the second one, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to do the same thing on the second one. I'm going to move the start point down 6, and I'm going to move the end point up 6. So now I want to go and I want to crop just this area off and this area. So I only want to keep what's between the start and the stop points. So I'm going to go to Modify and Crop. I have the first design selected. I can tell because the left side is dark. On the sidebar, I want to hit Start and End. And then I want to go over and hit Baseline. Very important to baseline this. Now I'm going to select my second one and crop start and end, and baseline. Now these don't look like they're very close to each other if I zoom in a lot, but let me see if I can even simulate this. I can't even simulate onto that point because we're zoomed in so much. I'm going to hit measure and see if I can measure. There. This is 0.1 of an inch away. Like nothing. They are so close that when we baseline these together, it's gonna read them as one design. So I'm zooming out so we can see. I'm gonna move the simulator bars out of the way. And I will select the design 1. And I'm going to come down here and select multiple, click my design 2. They turn into one beautiful design themselves, and I'm going to baseline them together. Now they are frozen together in one set. And I'm going to turn this off. This is where, super important, we're going to go to Save, Selected, and we're going to save this design however you like to save it, somewhere where you know where it's going to be saved. I just happen to save them into the same file. And I'm going to hit Cancel because I've already saved them. And the reason we did this, now we have these two blocks that it's one with an edited second piece that now Pro Stitcher sees as one because we baseline them together. And if I want to repeat this, I can go to my repeat. And what we're going to do is we're going to make horizontal rows. And we're going to end up using just this one row and stitch this out. So now you can see everything lines up. You can't really tell where one row ends and one row begins. I mean, if you look at it, you can, but I mean, at first glance, you're not going to see it. And this is going to be cropped and stuff. So this is what we're going to be using when we actually go to the machine. So I want you to do this 3 times. I want you to set up one. Well, if you're doing this, and if you like all 3 of the designs, file clear all. So if you like these 3 designs, and I think I just opened one twice. We'll find out. Oh no, there they are. So these are the 3. If you like them all and you're going to use them all, you do have, I think there's 9 or 10 spaces. I think there's 10 spaces that we're going to need to fill. So, yeah, I mean, remember, it's your quilt. You can, again, you can set up an edge to edge for anything. It just needs to be larger than the areas we're going to fill. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we go to the quilt. But you'll need to do this for each of them. Again, in the comments below, I don't think I have a place. Oh, let me see if I can pop open Pro Stitcher Studio. Take a picture of this, screenshot it, do something. But these are your settings for those 3 designs if you're going to do this. And you'll follow the same process for each one. Okay? Yay! Point 12. Yeah. Yay. So we're going to jump over to the Pro Stitcher. We're going to start stitching this baby out. I'm super excited. And all the diamond stuff we're going to do right there. So we'll see you back here in a minute.
All right, so here we are. We've already done our stuff in Simulator, so I'm going to file design open. And here are my 3 designs. Design 1, which is the first design set into a rectangle, design 2, and design 3. So I'm just going to start with design 1, open it, and here's my block that we just created over there in the Pro Stitcher Simulator. And this is actually the block that I created in Simulator. I just saved it onto a thumb drive and brought it to my machine. Because yes, you can do that. So when you're in Hawaii and you just need a day away from your family, go to the pool with your laptop and digitize. I didn't go to the pool, but I did take a day away because I was just like, I need time by myself. Some of us sometimes need our alone time. So here's my block. I know this quilt is 70 inches, so I'm going to go to repeat. Repeat, basic. So repeat, basic, and I'm going to repeat this. And I can see right up here that the width is 88.91. Perfect. Baseline. Make sure everything's point to point and everything. It was. You could see it by the black dots. And now I have my first row. Well, I need to set my area for my first row. So I'm going to go to my area tab. And I'm definitely going to be using multi-point. But because it's the diamond, I can use my right handlebar. So if you have a Mara, a Forte, Infinity, you have this option. I'm going to tilt you down. And the first area we're going to create is this outside edge all the way across. So what I'm going to do is, 1, I'm going to trim all these threads so nothing gets caught up. So I'm going to move my foot over here, and I like to stitch off the quilt, so this is mine, it's fine. I see one, oh, that, I was like, I see one more thread, but it's that thread that threaded the needle. And so I'm gonna hit multi-point. Now I'm coming down, and I wanna stitch these next pieces. I wanna multi-point them right on my seam. Because I'm gonna be using crop, I'm closing my edges, and I wanna get it to stitch right on this seam as it goes. So I'm gonna move down, and I will probably put one in the middle of the seam and then one at the end at the dot. I gotta work around the camera. I can't see. I am using a bottom line 623 silver. It's very small. It's very thin and it kind of matches stuff. So if I'm not exactly perfectly on, I'm okay with that. It's not going to be a super big issue. Let me turn you. And I'm just going to continue. I'm not going to move the camera because I'm continuing this all the way across. When I get to the end, I'm coming up to the top. And I should only have to make one line because it's going to shoot across the top. So now let's come back to our tablet. I'll hit my bottom house. So this is the area we're stitching in. Here's my design. I have my select tool. I'm just going to drag and drop my design so it sits over it. And we're going to do something really crazy. Modify, crop the outside, close the edges. Now, let's see. We'll refresh. We might get some jumps. So we can see some jumps here. It's something about how the design crops, and it's cropping like too much of the connection between design 1 and design 2. But what I can do before I baseline, I can hit drag and move the design around to see if it fixes that in any place. This one I think is gonna just have to do it because it's such a small area. Because if I come there, it has none here, but as soon as I move up a little bit, it does. It starts putting them in. So we'll see if I can shift it. And it's okay. It's not a problem. This is only going to happen on 2 rows. Maybe the other row is the one that I'm going to stitch myself. But I don't want a ton. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be good. I'm going to drop and baseline. Get it to where you like it, drop it, and baseline it. Now we're going to stitch this out. I'll see you back here in a second. So row 1 is done. It looks fantastic. And now I'm going to show you that one more time with row 2. So I'm just going to file, clear all. And now I'm going to my area, and I'm going to do my area around the next row, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's my area 2, and remember it's just a negative space. I just marked my area along my echoed line. If you did not echo your diamonds, you're going to go right on your diamond seams. And file, design, open. This time I'm going to use design 2. Open. And same exact thing. Modify, or not modify, repeat. I'm going to repeat them. Do I need that one? I don't even, well, let's see. I think this is going to work. Point to point. Once my repeats are done, baseline. Oh, I did need one more repeat. So I'm going to undo that baseline. Add one more repeat. Oh, I have to undo baseline. Add one more repeat and baseline it. It was just shy, so it wasn't going to work. Make sure my area is sitting inside my design. There's a lot getting cropped off over here. Not a problem. Modify, crop, outside edges. This one, I'm not going to move it. I'm going to baseline it right like that because it does not have anywhere where it's going to be jumping. So this one's going to stitch all the way through. So I'm going to stitch this one and I will let you watch it. We'll see you back here in a second. All right, so pro stitcher, pro stitcher, pro stitcher. I did my first 3. I'm gonna leave this one blank because I'm gonna stitch this one, free motion, because this is an all-inclusive channel and we are including anyone who doesn't have have pro stitcher, because what fun is that if you don't? Also, I love free motion. So I am going to, let's see, I have 8 minutes. I'm gonna stitch this straight down the center, stitch the design. This will be interesting because I have my lights off so you can kind of see. I'm not going to bring you up close and personal because it's really hard to stitch around the camera. And although you're probably like looking right at my face right now, it's really hard to stitch around the camera when it's sitting here. So you're going to get to see this. You'll see the like negative space when the light hits it. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do the kind of same type of design, some swirls, some paisleys, lots of echoing, and just go for it. So there you are, a little bit of just sporadic confetti quilting, a little swirls, paisleys. I threw some feathers in there and then realized I made them really weird. It's fine, the person who gets this isn't going to know any difference. But I think you can see it, but there's that. Fully free motion, you can do this. You all can do this. You just have to believe in yourself and be kind. All right, everyone, so the video is getting a little bit long, so we are going to split this final part into 2 pieces. We just did the background. We've done all our negative space. I showed you how to do it with Pro Stitcher. I showed you how to do it free motion, or how I did it free motion. A few things. If you don't have the set that we've used, if you didn't have the December 2021 set from Quiltable, the faux free motion set, remember, you can purchase it. You can join the club. I think you still have this week to join the club. And then you'll get all of the club designs. There's 25 or 30, something like that. So you have that option. If you want to make your own, like if you don't want to buy the set or you don't want to join the club and all that stuff, which you don't have to, you can always do that. What you need to do is you need to make your square larger than the full height of this block, because you're going to end up having to crop it out. So just make your square taller than, I'm trying to think of the tallest piece here, 9 inches or so should be big enough. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. I think that's probably going to work. And then you'll just set your edge to edge up, baseline that, get that ready, do your area, and then crop it out. Make sure you save the original design so you can recreate that 10 times or so, however many. But yeah, so in the next video, which will be out tomorrow or the next day, we'll get in and stitch those diamonds out. I have to say, I love this. If these diamonds, if the big diamonds weren't as big as they were, or if it was all the small diamonds, I might leave the diamonds unstitched because I really like how it's looking right now, but those big diamonds are just a little bit too big. The batting I use is probably going to be okay because I think it's every 10 inches you have to stitch or so. And we have this tacked down enough with the background stitching and stitching the ditch and everything. But you'll see that on battings. It will tell you how often you need to stitch. But in this case, those big ones are just a little bit big. Like I said in the last video, I am going to use the Dazzling Diamond set from Quiltable to stitch my diamonds. I'm not going to do any of those free motion because I want those to actually all look the same. I kind of have a plan there. But we'll talk about free motion options in the next video for that. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified of new videos when they post. Follow me on social media, Adam's So Fun with the SEW on Facebook and Instagram, where a lot of other things. We do Facebook Lives every Tuesday, so if you have questions, you can jump in there and ask some questions and stuff. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video. I hope you had a fabulous holiday, and at the end of the day, it's just quilting. We'll see you in the next one.